place without cable, I feel like I'm one horse and buggy away from being legally Amish. But I find it interesting how people have very different noise tolerances for stuff, usually based on where they're from. Like New York City people have a very high noise tolerance. My buddy was teasing me when I was complaining about the construction. He lives in the city. He's in Manhattan, but he's uptown, like way uptown, like near Vermont. And so, ooh, you guys are taking geography. That's great. So he lives on the second floor of one of those buildings like we have in the city where it's right in front of where they got the elevated subway tracks going by. And I'm like, how do people live there? Like, I'm whining to you about construction in my place for, what, 5-6 days? His place, we're talking like every 5-6 minutes. You know, you can't even, you got an 8-train barrel in front of you, you can't even have a conversation. It's like, hey, dude, what's up? Not much, man. It's funny, though. I just got back from the... I'm like, dude, I'm like, how do you Seriously, can we fix that? 2014, we got robots on Mars, we're cloning sheep. Can we fix the PA on the subway is all I'm saying. No, seriously, we need to get our technological priorities together in our country. We're always building new stuff. Let's fix the old stuff first. How is it possible? 45 years ago, actually this summer, we just had the anniversary. 45 years ago, we had the technology. Back then, we were putting dudes up on the moon. Now, think about this for a moment. The moon is 250,000 miles away and in the middle of outer space. Yet somehow everyone on Earth had no problem hearing this man say, "That's one small step for man." But somehow, to this day, on planet Earth, not even, what, 2 feet from any drive-through, it's still... How's that one possible? Anybody? Could we maybe get the lovely folks at Apple to do something about that? Speaking of which, yeah, you know what we really need to do, fix technology-wise, are the cell phones. Those have been out a while. They need to work now, don't you think? I was just talking to my dad tonight. He called me earlier. He called me from his cell, and I hate when my dad calls me from his cell because, well, it's embarrassing having a dad in prison. And so I just want to make sure you're paying attention. Okay. Now, I hate when he calls me from the cell phone because he's in the city. He's always in his car. And my dad's one of those guys who'll call you from the car, and then he spends half the conversation yelling at traffic while you talk to him on the phone. Every chat with him is like, "Hey, Dad, what's up? Yeah, stay in the car, just got to work. I was wondering if you..." Screw you! Dad, it's not you. This cab just cut me off. Did you see that son of a bitch? Oh, yeah. I love when he asks me that brilliant question. Did you see that son of a bitch? Yeah, no, I didn't, Dad. But I think I have to go change my underwear now. Thank you very much. I told him he's not allowed to call me from the car anymore. In fact, I told him he's also not allowed to leave me messages from the car. That's just as bad. Because what I'm saying, in New York, with the buildings, the signal cuts out, he wonders why I don't return like half of his calls, because he keeps leaving messages on my voicemail like this. Beep. Yeah, Steve, it's your father here. I'm in the car, just gotta work. I've been later tonight. So I was wondering if up at 8:30 would be great. So can you give me a call? I'll be at 212. Ours. My dad's a character. My dad. The reason my dad talks that way is, well, he doesn't talk that way. That'd be weird. Like, "Hey, Stephen," and later. That'd be creepy. Ooh, did I just do jazz hands on a comedy show? Let's just keep that between us and the millions of people at home. No, the reason my dad talks that way, my dad's a newscaster, so he's got that really deep, loud, authoritative broadcaster voice, which on TV is great, but in public, unnecessary. And the worst is when you're a little kid and you're growing up and you get in trouble and you got to get yelled at or scolded by someone who talks like that. It puts the fear of God into you. Oh, yeah, especially with my dad, who, by the way, was like king of the scolders. I had one of these dads, I think half the time he was inventing stuff to scold us about, because some of it didn't even make sense. He actually once said this to me, he goes, "Hey, knock it off. You know, when I was your age, I was a lot older than you." I think Dad's been drinking. But the worst, though, is if ever I was so bad that my mom would have to go and, like, call him up at work. You know when moms finally are fed up? They find out, "That's it, I'm calling your father." That was the worst, because he was already in that newscaster frame of mind. So whenever I'd get yelled at, I always felt like I was a breaking story. Oh, yeah, he'd pick up the phone in that newscaster cadence he didn't play. Like, "How's your father? Yeah, your mother just told me what you did. Well, I'll tell you something, mister. You're in a lot of trouble. And you're going to get it when I get home. Tonight at 11. My mom is funny too with the messages. Her problem is the opposite. My mom will call you up. You know, if somebody has a story to tell you, they'll call you up on your machine and they'll say, hey dude, I got a funny story for you. Call me back, and then you call them back and they tell you the story. My mom just leaves the entire story on the answering machine. And it's not even important stuff. It's like where she went shopping that day, medical updates from distant family members I hadn't even seen since I'm 8, you know. So I basically got a brand new phone number just for my parents to leave me their crazy messages. And I have a good old-fashioned answering machine to go with it, with the button. So now when I'm home and they call, I listen to their messages like this.
Hi, sweetie, it's your mother. Remember me? I'm the woman who gave birth to you. It's been 3 days and I would like to know that you're still alive. Look at me, I'm sitting here and I am reading through the obituary column. And I am not seeing your name anyplace. So I'm expecting a call. Love you.
Yeah, Steve, it's your father here. I'm in the car. Your mother's calling. Up where you are. So, of course.
Hi, sweetie. Guess who?
I love Guess Who. Like I have no idea whose voice.
Sweetie, it's Mom. Where are you? Wait a minute. Lunch next weekend. Because it's your sister's birthday. And everyone's coming over, and we're shopping yesterday, and I bought the most beautiful 30% off. I couldn't believe it. And the woman with him, because Aunt Sylvia's stool sample came back from the lab. I don't know, the doc. When I was 9.
No more memory. That's it for me, guys. You've been awesome. Enjoy the show. Good night.
Stay tuned for more laughs on Access TV, live from the Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. Dan Shackey is taking the stage when we return.
Our next performer is a great comic, and tonight is an exciting show for him because it's his first time on television. Please welcome Dan Shackey.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've been going to the beach a lot this summer. I was at the beach, and these girls asked me if I could take their picture. I already did. How about you give me your phone number, and I'll text it to you. Just looking for love. My ex-girlfriend, she used to always try to test my love. She would ask me questions like if I would take a bullet for her. That is a ridiculous question. Most murders are committed by somebody we know. So I would like to take that bullet, but statistically speaking, I'm going to be the one pulling the trigger. That's what love's all about. I live here in New York City. I live in Astoria, Queens. Got some neighbors. It's kind of a weird neighborhood. I had to call for a cab to the airport, and I said, hey, can I get a taxi to LaGuardia at noon tomorrow? And the guy goes, okay, bye. Hey, maybe don't hang up the phone just yet. Aren't you supposed to ask me for my address? Or tell me what this is going to cost? Or, I don't know, do anything at all to convince me a transaction has just been made over the telephone? Here's the weirdest part. He showed up. Mentally, I am an adult male. I have it together. But emotionally, I am still just a teenage girl. There's a huge mess inside. I will give you an example. I am heterosexual, but a friend of mine told me this gay guy we know said I was hot, and I had like 1,000,000 follow-up questions. Let me get this straight. Did he say I was hot, or did he say I was cute, or did he say I was boyfriend material? What were his exact words? Am I blushing? I feel like I'm blushing a little bit. Some guys, they're really homophobic. If they heard that, they wouldn't go near him. But that guy made my month. I'm getting my life together because of him. If I'm going somewhere and I think he's going to be there, I'm not going to do anything with him when I see him, but I definitely think about what I'm wearing before I leave the house. That guy believes in me. I'm not going to let him down. I guess you guys believe in me too. All right. I haven't joined a gym because of this. I'm in my 30s, so my options are either join a gym or get married. And the gym at least lets me go month to month. You high-fived on that. You were gonna get married, and then instead you were like, let's just join a gym. Family pass. I never thought I would join a gym. In high school gym class, we did a weightlifting unit, and I would just sit around and not do it. And one day the gym teacher pulled me aside, and he said, Dan, when you're an adult, you were gonna pay your hard-earned money to join a gym and lift weights. So you should really take advantage now. And I had no idea that the guy who wore sweatpants to work was gonna be 100% right. When I signed up, they told me I get a free body fat analysis and fitness test.